Hello. It is 1:15, and I don't know. Well, I don't have my lights on. I guess the guy next door that's gonna be moving in, probably just woke up. It was pretty quiet, but he has a lot of lights on in his place, and I know like 3 people that I know that are go around for years and then still they scared of the dark. Usually I don't have any lights on, but I'll go out there, but the dog woke me up. We got the new neighbor over here, and it's usually the people they bring in. The people they bring to visit them. Like Miss Penny Smith, she's looking at everybody, still looking at everybody else, and her son had, crackhead, and the other guys that they really liked around here that they known since they were kids, they were the actually ones still, But I didn't say nothing since they started accusing me of big stuff, like you need a truck, like I'm going to carry stuff. But it was just convenient, so she didn't have to get mad at her son, which she was already mad at. So that house gotta go. I'm gonna make a phone call tomorrow. That it's gotta do something quicker. And I guess I'm gonna wait till the weather's appropriate and I can open windows and do stuff to the other window, because it's nice and warm in this room. This is the one with the new heater. The other one, the bedroom, it has the old heater, and it's warm. But I fell asleep. I was watching The Invaders. I think the 19 movie series. And hear the dog. And they're right there. They're going from around. They're going to the crack house, and the guy down the end here, his nephew moved in as a crackhead, and usually he stays with Larry that doesn't live that's the empty house now, next to it. And there's only, because there'll still be like 2 houses. There'll be 3 houses, 4 still on this property, and I just want to get rid of one off the property and one on. But anyway. It's Saturday night, so this is not the time where people come back from the clubs. It'd be closer to about. They usually get out like 2 and get around here about 2:45, maybe they, something closer like that, about 3. So, or they stop to get. But this is the time anyway. So on the weekend they usually. Between 2 and 3, they're not going to be bothered. It should be quiet down, but they're not very bright. And I don't think that guy moved in yet. He acting like he moved in for, I don't know, some bullshit reason. And I know the reason why he moves in, because nobody's been living over there. Man's been renting it out, since he got it in 2008. But one time. What I'm saying, and they keep the light, because like she was telling me, all of them that have their lights, floodlights and all, they got like a $400 electric bill. Mine's not, mine's went up because I pump out the heat and stuff like that. And it fluctuates when it gets real hot, but I don't have actually the floodlight. I have the floodlight that has to be like changed back here. It hasn't been changed, I don't know, since then. And Lurleen changed, and she was 97 when she passed. So, when was she born? I think 1912. So, and she passed away in 2008. But anyway, she was 97. I'm not sure about the date. I can't really do the math. So, but anyway. So, dogs wake me up. I don't have to worry about so much as that the other guys, the policemen, you gotta worry about them. They think they have the right just to come in your house, for whatever reason. But it is the people they bring into the house, or their children. Like here, they're like, well, what are we gonna do about the crime? What are we gonna do about what I'm saying? But it is the children, it is the people that's from this area. It's what the school's pumping out. Um, they all whoop their kids, and they all live by that, and they can't stand their teenage kids. Anyway, I hear something. But I'll get up and just parole, just walk around in the area. Pretty much, like, if I recognize them, I'll just go ahead and, hey, how you doing? Hey, what are you doing out here too? I don't even really ask what you're doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning, but not the first thing, but I will. Anyway, it's got quiet. I feel like going back to sleep. I'm going to go back and watch my Invader movie. It's all about, I hear the noise. I got to look at the date. It's either 1956 that series was in. I think that's when they first introduced television, or 1964, but whenever it was very early, and it's science fiction. It's one of my things I really like, and it has to do with the Air Force for the United States government. Because back when I was a child, everybody got drafted, and there was different jobs for everybody. And one thing we was real lucky because my mom, out of her, let me think, because I think there were 6 brothers. Let me do it. I think the oldest one was Uncle Roy, then Edison, no, Uncle Roy, Nathaniel, William, Edison, Clarence, and then in the Rivers and Lurleen. She was older than Uncle Roy. She was the oldest, and Uncle Roy was the oldest of the boys. So we have Lurleen, Helen, Connie, Betty, Ruth, Ruby, and then you had Helen. Okay, that was right. Oh, and I forgot Bojack, but that was Helen's kid. I grew up with them. Okay, so that was all of them. Yay! But all of the guys came back from getting drafted. All of them came back. And I think, matter of fact, almost like when they were segregated, I believe all of them came back, even in World War One, World War Two, in the Korea, Vietnam, and so we it's probably lucky in that case. I think so opposed to a lot of people, there are people that didn't come back in big families, but in some ways I could see why they were sort of, like why they really had to come hard and destroy the black community. And they did it by destroying the women. But anyway, I guess she's not back working. I would try to be nice to her, but she stays in the house. I got yard work to do, and I don't know. I mean, they do the yard work. I don't like to do the stuff I think is really hard, but I got to get it ready for spring. I'm gonna have to repot my plants, my butter beans. We're gonna do another way where I started off germinating it in a napkin instead of putting it in the soil. But I had an extra 6 weeks of winter, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna be working on that because I wanna, like, as soon as because it's gonna rain today, but as soon as it's warm enough a little bit, I'm gonna hose this area because You know, I try. I mean, I done house plants and all the time. I used to do house plants, and then my ex-husband's and and children would do the yard really. And Lurleen, she used to do housework. I mean, she did the yard. So, but everybody, back then they have, everybody had a job. Like, and since like one of the things, if you didn't like clean up the kitchen, you cooked. So, but Aunt Lurleen cooked and everything. So, I mostly went out in the yard with her, but she did all the work actually. Matter of fact, that's one thing that you do need an extra hand with. But anyway, so I don't have a lawnmower, so I have an electric lawnmower, but I'm bent over bricks somehow, God forbid. But anyway, so that's another thing, is that you gotta get a hold of the person that does the yard work. I already know who's gonna do it. He's very nice. Matter of fact, there's like nieces that was working on Rick's house, and her sister's boyfriend, he lives like two houses, or two streets over on Hazelwood. So as soon as it works up enough, I got a fallen tree. I get really, well, I guess when my mom comes over, I have some trees and stuff that have to come down. They should come down now. Everybody's doing it. Everybody was just before, while it was warm before, everybody was just did all the yard work, trimmed down the stuff. But it got cold again, so you want to catch it before it grows. In some ways, I don't really care about some of that stuff. The stuff that I care about, that's the stuff that they kill. The stuff I could care less. But the yard, I mean, they got them like. What kills me, they used to have grass here that it's seeded at about 4 inches. So like you have to mow it after a certain length, right? So like I don't know, right after they annexed the city, they came along, and I guess I know this one guy told me that some white guy had gave somebody some grass, and and next thing you know, they got tall grass all around. Some genius. That's why the city looks crazy like shit. Because I don't think they really think, like with the park they're talking about doing. They're like, oh, they need a bicycle lane. They also do need more trees in there for a lot of reasons. One thing, it looks nice. Second is shade. And third, it stops erosion. Like, I don't know why they don't have some pretty weeping willows along the bank there where it's rugged. And also, like, if somebody slips in, it's an anchor for a rope. But and like, I don't see why, like, opposed to having to mow everywhere, if they did have like a place where they did some weeping willow, what is that, weeping willows, and then those pussy willows and the other type of landscape, natural waterway flowers. But anyway, it got quiet again. So because Brock's gone, and he had some dogs, and the people that ran off with the Oreo, the pet bull, Polly's mom, probably before they had dumped them off, they realized they was not full pet bull. They're asking me, I don't know, she's but see, that's what they had used her for, was breeding. And they get down, they dumped her. So, she was very happy with keeping keeping Polly, but she's not gonna be able to keep her. But we'll let her go through the, certain stage, past the stage. So it's like, in a way, you could see the way this man was acting. That's another way. Like, they go, oh, part of women's rights is the right to have, abortion and all this. I think the biggest thing women's rights could ever find is if a man really had to sit back and think before you act. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like I guess as long as we tell them, well, this is your body, this is your freedom. It's not really a freedom if the one thing gift that God gave you is to reproduce, and that's the one thing that could be a stigma. Have people call you a whore, or ruin your chances for the rest of your life to progress. You know what I'm saying? And like after a certain age, that stigma, you know what I'm saying, it's not even there. Like poof, it poof is not even there. Some bullshit, stigma that they give you. I guess I don't know, but actually, like if they had the schools year round, they could have these. They could have these. They could have these kids. On their way to college by 14, 15. And so therefore, if they do get pregnant as a teenage, well, you get them working papers at 15, they can start working in a factory, start their life. What are you gonna do? Oh, the beginning of their life. Let's just have it ruined. But that's a way to keep us down. Anyway, it got quiet. The dogs got quiet. Because people that come in, they drive in and come in after the club closes, like closes at 2, whatever. When they come in, the only noise they make is maybe they're a little too woozy going to the house, but they're not going to be moving around too much. So when that neighbor moves in, he brings his friends up here. He's gonna, that's. That's when he's gonna have the real problem, because he made friends with the other guy that kicked out. He made friends with those people he got robbed from. So, Dracula can't come in your house unless you invite him. It's Sunday.